Welcome back, everybody, to another segment of Don't Make This Weird. Joining me always is Heather.
Hey, guys.
And Tony.
How's it going?
And we have a studio full tonight. I'll just do the one around and let everybody introduce themselves or whatever. We have Dave and Christina from Stone Cottage Farms.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
They do the dairy goats and the illegal cheese.
The illegal cheese.
But the soap, I'm pretty sure, is kosher.
That's right. Hashtag illegal cheese for life.
Yeah, and we also got Denise hanging out.
Yeah.
Chris's lovely lady. We've got our intern Nate back in studio. We've got my lovely not lady, my lovely man, Adam, hanging out.
Lovely not lady.
And Leon.
I just got a message from your better half saying I will be performing tonight with sign language.
Oh, okay.
Leon.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's from Leon. Okay. All right. So he's being quiet over there today.
Gotcha.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us again. They've actually agreed to come back and hang out with us.
Yes.
So the first time wasn't terrible.
Nope. I was shocked.
Awesome.
But I'm always
Awesome.
shocked.
And then they come in and they give us the soap.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
She gave it to me and then I shared because I'm nice.
Oh, that's all right. Because I think I bought them out of half of their stock when I came over to the farm there.
Yeah, thanks to you, I need to get very busy making soap. So thank you.
Yeah, we've got the. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, how can you complain, though?
No, I'm not, for sure.
We don't complain because he's like, hey guys, did you try this soap? And how do we get a chance to? Because you bought it all. So then he's like, here's a bar for you. And he's like Oprah with the soap. He's like, one bar of soap for you and soap for you.
Everybody look under their seat.
Yeah. Yeah, he even gives it to our other guests when they come on too.
Awesome.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
I am not above shameless promotion.
Nope.
It's like, you guys like this one? Yeah, you got to go buy your own. Good. Look it up. Stone Cottage Farms, Facebook. They'll hook you up.
Yeah. I'll keep on putting the links in the chat for everybody that's listening tonight. And also we'll throw them back up on the Don't Make This Weird Facebook page. We've already got our chat going. Tiffany Phelps says, hello, people. My dad says hello. And Brad Glassford's joining us saying good evening, gang. Hi, guys.
So I need some more charcoal because that stuff's incredible.
I can get you more of that. The unscented plain charcoal. The
Sweet.
charcoal plantain swirl is sold out. I said goodbye to the last few bars I had of that at Hippie Fest on the 9th. So
I was
that
actually
one's been
showing
really popular.
I was actually showing a couple people your Etsy store, and I'm like, hey, why are they sold out of frankincense and turmeric?
I wonder why.
Yeah, I seen you make the post about saying one of our our best people that come to purchase soap. Whatever, you said it way better than I do. I'm not with it right now. And I seen that and I'm like, bought you out of certain soaps. So I come over here and I'm like, did you go get soap today? And he's like, yeah, maybe.
They're like vultures, man. I swear, I buy soap and like everybody shows up in my house just fiending. Did you get the soap? Did you get the soap?
It just happened to fall on Thursday night podcast, so we were lucky there.
Hey, man, you got any more of that cinnamon coffee, man? See people tying off with the shit.
I'm telling you, man.
So for the listeners that are tuning in that are just joining us now, can you tell us a little bit about what you guys do and about your farm?
Well, as we've already talked about, Christina makes soap. She teaches soap classes. She's getting a real good following on that. And it's just amazing soap. We use it. I mean, we don't even buy shampoo anymore. We use it for shampoo and everything. We have goats and a little farm, and I make cheese, and I did bring some illegal cheese for you guys tonight, but I don't know if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see that I've been working hard out there this winter trying to get the creamery going. I got a cheese cave up, I got running all the electric, and I got the gas, and tried to get the heater hooked up this week, but it didn't want to work once I got propane hooked up to it. But I think I know what the problem is, and I should be able to get that fixed tomorrow. But
It was really cool when you gave me a tour of that and just showing me all the stuff that you're doing.
yeah.
And, the past, 3-4 years that we've known each other and I bought soap and whatnot, and then seeing how, the farm is growing and seeing that you guys are just working so diligently to expand your business. It's such a cool thing to watch.
Right.
It grow from, like you were talking about before the show, that, you were working a regular job and now you're retired and you're working even more to make your own business grow, which is just so cool. I think that's so awesome.
It's really exciting still for me. January 29th was 9 years since they handed us the keys and the farm was ours. And at that point, I could probably, I don't know if even then yet, I could tell you the difference between straw and hay. And, here we are 9 years later. That first year we started with our first 4 goats. Now we have 29. We have 15 mamas expecting babies this year.
Wow.
We're doing the soap. I'm teaching the classes. He's doing the cheese. It's been 3-4 years ago now that we went out and got all the equipment for the creamery, and just never, with us both working full time. And then even after I went full time on the farm, I can do a lot of stuff, but I can't do all the technical stuff with setting up the creamery.
Right.
So to now finally be at the point where we're both there and can put 1,000% into it instead of.
That's just awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing your guys' posts and so much positive stuff every time you post. So I follow you guys we're friends on Facebook, but I also follow Stone Cottage Farms, and it's awesome to see all of the positivity and everything that you guys post. So it's very inspiring to me. I'm like, hey, I think someday we can have some goats. And he posted something. Adam posted something about March being buy your girlfriend a goat month.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And I was like, and then today he goes, well, it doesn't say anything in the contract where we live that we can't have. I was like, they eat stuff that's probably frowned upon. They probably eat the wiring and stuff. I don't know. But yeah. So.
And I'm sure Groot would love it.
Yeah, it's got all over it.
No. I'm good. But it's really awesome to see you guys post all the positive stuff. So. Try to steal my microphone?
I totally am. Groot likes heights, so he'd totally be all over jumping on top of him and jumping off of him and having a blast all over him.
I could probably see that happening. We'll have to wait until we have our own house, though, I think. So
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
How does the cheese melt comparably, like when like cheeseburgers or?
It depends on the cheese. Some of them, what I brought today for you to try. Some of this Havarti, it's real soft
Quit
cheese.
giving that away.
Yeah. I figure we're promoting it. I don't have much left.
I'm guessing that's a private selection.
But this stuff melts just beautifully. I mean, but I'll make grilled cheese with 4 or 5 different kinds of cheese, and that stuff's just like coming out of there. It's just as pretty as a picture, man.
The best way.
That real
Nice.
slow. And so they all melt pretty well, the hard cheeses, but like a queso fresco that y'all liked last time.
Yeah, that was incredible.
That doesn't really melt too well because it's a fresher cheese. I don't know what happens with the chemistry and stuff, but as it ages and gets older with a harder cheese, and they melt better.
Okay.
Nice.
So good, guys. So good.
Yeah, that
so
queso fresco, that was delicious.
It was. And if you like that, you like this. I mean, I can give it to you now if you guys want to try
just
some.
hand it to the intern and he'll pass it over.
And I also brought some Emmentals, which is basically Swiss.
Seriously.
We got lots of that.
Oh, so
Okay, all right.
count me in with all that.
So we've got some stuff happening in chat. Becky says, I never get soap. I only get teased with the possibility of soap. And I said, I will tell Tony. And then Adam said, the coffee soap and charcoal soap is awesome. And Health Sender 78 says, illegal cheese is very appealing to me.
I'm telling you, you guys need to market that.
You help. I really should. It was just kind of a joke the last time we're on. I think that was the first time I might have said it. But it's really stuck around since
It's
then,
interesting. It's like, what do you mean illegal?
Illegal cheese.
It's got that.
You want to know.
Yeah.
What
Marijuana is legal now, so it's not that.
So we got that, right.
It's not a strain brand, is what you're saying, right? All right.
What kind of goat is in this?
I'm just saying. It's a pretty fun cheese.
We got those Rasta goats,
So this has got the mind rape strand in it, right? I'm just trying to wonder.
It's like Swiss paralyzer.
Scooby snack.
I've also got Mindy Beecher saying, haven't. Stop giving it away. Your sister is so hungry.
How could you possibly be hungry as much as we ate today? We went to Mom's house today, and then we went to late lunch, and we went to this Thai restaurant, and the portions were insane. And I ate my food and everybody's leftovers. We didn't take anything home. Well, then Mom was having some people over for dinner, so we stayed for dinner too. But dinner was early, so we didn't eat lunch till 2. We ate dinner at 5.
Oh my god!
And I ate my own body weight in a matter of 3 hours. About 280 pounds of food. And
nice.
So that's my sister who just said that, and I don't know how she could possibly be hungry. Of course, she didn't eat as much as I did, I guess. So.
We went to the Grandpa Tony's in Bay City, and I got a turkey sandwich with bacon, and it was
like as big as your head.
Football.
Yeah.
It was huge. I ate it.
Yeah.
Most of it.
See, that's the weirdest thing for me now is like the portioning, because it's like, oh, I'll have 5 bites of this and I'm good. But it's kind of weird though, because some days I'm like, man, I used to eat so much more than this. This is just strange.
It's funny watching Adam ride the struggle bus, not to bruise the cheese, but to rip the package.
Which one is this one?
That's Havarti.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'd never made that before, and it was like the last batch I was going to make for the year if we dried the girls off. And Christina says, so how about I make something I haven't made before? She said, I asked for a suggestion, and she said, what about Havarti? So I didn't have a recipe, so I looked one up and made it, and so that one's definitely going to be on the.
This is incredible.
On the list next year, isn't
I'm
it?
really looking forward to like a dill or a herb.
Oh,
yeah.
Add dill right in. That's real popular, but
Buffalo.
Absolutely.
So
I'm a fan of the
I get
big
it all
cheese,
the time, so
the white, the softer cheeses. That's really good.
This one's real soft and it melts just
Oh, that's
like you
wonderful.
asked.
It just like melts in your
beautifully.
mouth. It's
I know.
great.
Isn't that amazing?
Hey,
Sorry,
Mitch, if you're listening, Havarti.
I think I only got about a pound left at home, so
Oh man.
yeah,
Oh,
it's sad.
Oh, I
The
know.
private
Cheese
selection.
abuse.
But the goats are going to be freshening soon, which means they're going to be in milk. So
Yeah, 11 days is the first due
Oh,
date.
wow.
11 days from now.
and since we have so many due, we're going to be getting maybe 15 gallons of milk a day. Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the reason I've been working. That's the reason I've been working so hard in the cheese room, because I have a 55-gallon steam kettle, so I can make about 50, 60 pounds cheese at a time.
Wow.
And I'm going to have to. Otherwise, if I just use that 20-pound one, I'm going to have to be making cheese twice a day. And nobody has time for that. So.
Well, and it was funny
So
getting
good.
a tour of it. Oh, yeah. Which one did you try?
The Swiss is so yummy. We got a couple more things in chat. Mindy Beecher says, my family will not starve. Mom said you left before dessert. And then House Under 78 said, I'm really baked and I made a grilled sloppy joe inside a flour tortilla, and I haven't cheat and Havarti cheese would have made it out of this world.
Yes,
Thank
it would
you.
have.
You're right.
It looked like
tastes
it said
incredible.
haven't. Sorry.
It tastes incredible. Just throwing that out there.
So you'll just have to wait, and they'll have cheese that I think won't be illegal.
Oh, no. It's just going to be marketed as illegal cheese.
Give me the brand name. You could so run with that. Oh, possibilities are endless.
Make sure you got the label that has all the ingredients on it, like a big red stamp. Like it's been banned, for prohibition.
You guys are hired.
Oh yeah, we'll come up with fun stuff. Oh man.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Thank you guys for sharing with us.
Yeah, this is
Go
incredible.
behind bars on the front.
That's
Oh,
right.
See? There you
Go.
go. I want some cheese. You can use that.
You can totally play out the whole Stone Cottage Farm
Oh,
thing and have like a
absolutely.
big boulder on the goat's leg, ball and chain, or
Busted
whatever.
license plates or something.
Exactly.
Oh, my God,
There
it'd be
you
so
go.
fun.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Goat House Under said goat bandit cheese.
We have a goat named Bandit.
There you go.
So how many goats do you have altogether?
29 right now.
All right, and you have how many babies? You say on the way? 15.
15 mamas, but twins is most common.
Oh, okay.
So at least 2.
All right.
Yeah.
They can have singles, but like last year we had several sets of triplets
Wow.
and twins. We didn't
Wow.
have anybody have just a single last year, so you never know.
Now, when you milk, you get to do that by hand.
No,
No.
we have a machine. That and 15 goats, forget it.
I've never milked a goat teat.
The first year when we were only milking 3 girls, we did it just by hand with a stainless bucket. But now we have a machine that milks 2 at a time, and we actually have.
I'm set up to have everything to do 4 at a time. I just haven't set that up yet, but this year I'm going to, just to save me some time.
True.
So with the 55-gallon drum and the 20-gallon drum, you can potentially do 75 gallons a day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
But I mean, 75, and this way I just save it up for 2 or 3 days, and then I'll bake a batch of cheese. I'm going to have to get that worked out too, because that's going to, because it's about a pound of cheese per gallon. It just depends on the cheese, but so I can't make a 75-pound wheel of cheese.
I mean, you could.
I don't have a form that big, but I have 3 or 4.
I'll just stand there for a long time.
That's right. I'll just hug it.
I'm okay.
I'll hug it really hard.
I'll just hold it together for you. Can't hold anything together in my life, but I'll hold this cheese together for you.
That's right.
Hey, I'll tell you, you guys got your shit together with the cheese. So.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah.
it's really
Super good. And the soap. I mean,
yeah, I know. I'm all focused on the cheese and that cinnamon coffee soap. I'm telling you, I can't add enough about it.
We can't. We just can't keep that coffee cinnamon on the shelf. I mean, it just goes so fast.
For a while, I joked about it because it was such a good seller. I said, well, I guess I just need to make twice as much of this as any other scent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm currently making 3 times as much of that
You can't keep it
than any other scent, and I can't keep it on the shelf.
Wow.
People love it.
I mean,
so.
it's healthy. I mean, it's like organic. It exfoliates. It smells wonderful. Coffee and cinnamon.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you use essential oils in the soap as well, too, right?
Correct. Yep.
I seen that you guys were gifted a bottle of myrrh, right?
That
Was it myrrh?
Blew my mind.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We got
big bottle.
Yeah, huge bottle of it.
Friend of ours, but she messaged me one day and she's like, so I have this, this myrrh oil, and I wondered if you'd be interested. And that just happens to be one that I haven't ever used or experimented with. I said, well, I'm sure, I can look it up and figure out a use for it. I'm like, how big is it? She's like, well, it's pretty big. It's 16 ounces.
Wow.
Wow.
1 pound.
So what do you use, like a drop or something? And
You use a little more than that in a batch, but at the very, very least, it would make 16 batches.
oh, gee.
I mean,
so you're good for a while.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, that's cool.
So yeah, that was, and if you know anything about essential oils, as far as if you've bought them or have dealt with them at all, that was just it flabbergasted me. It was an amazing gift.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. And I also know that you do classes.
yes.
So when classes are available, how much, what all do you, I mean, you do right now you're teaching just the soap making, but I think David said that you're eventually going to teach how to make cheese too.
Yeah, there's been a lot of inquiries about that.
Yeah.
It just never works out, but that's also what I plan on doing out there in the creamery too, is leaving space so I could teach classes.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So, and once we have that set up, that'll give us a little more room to where I might even move the soap classes out there and be able to offer more than, because currently it's limited to 4 students at a time.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. One, the Stone Cottage is cottage, it's small.
Yeah.
Right. And 2, each student needs a stove burner.
Oh, okay.
And we just have the one stove in there.
Yeah.
But with the creamery and the extra space we're going to have out there, we might be able to expand that and offer larger classes, which should be fun.
That's cool.
So if one was looking to make soap, like what kind of startup gear do you need? Is it expensive? Is it a bunch of stuff?
You can sort of make it as expensive or inexpensive as you want to. And that's one of my goals with teaching the classes when I started teaching them, is to show people that if you want to do this yourself at home, you don't need to go out and invest a whole bunch of money in all this fancy stuff. Most of what you need to do it, you probably already have. For example, I joke that, yeah, you can go out to a soap supply place and buy these fancy schmancy molds that are made just for making soap.
Mhm.
Or you can do what I did the first time I ever made a batch and take a sturdy cardboard box and line it with a plastic bag. And that can be your mold.
Yeah.
You know?
Get shit done.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just that the more I got into it and the more I made in order to make a consistent bar or make something cool that people are going to like the appearance of, and to feed my addiction, you know. So, I started getting into more of the fancier molds. But as far as equipment, like I say, most of it you probably already have in your kitchen or in your house somewhere. And the raw materials too, that just depends on, you know, like we try and keep it as local as possible, other than the goat milk, which comes from our farm.
Right.
2 of the 3 fats I use I get those from our local butcher and render them myself.
Oh wow,
so-
you got a lot going on in it. I've never made soap, don't know much about it. So.
Well, you should
Dude,
come to a
Fight Club,
class.
man.
Yeah.
Goat Fight Club. We had this conversation.
Yeah. When are your classes, or when are they available?
I have one coming up in March. We were going to have a February class, but that's kind of a long story, but a family thing came up. So we rescheduled that to March, and it's actually going to be our first ever midweek class. So if anybody out there wants
cool.
to come on a Tuesday, March 19th, we're going to be making soap. And then I have 2 dates in April 13th and 27th. And then May 4th is the last one that I have scheduled for this year so far. So, but I have
Okay.
openings on all those dates yet. They run about 2-3 hours, and we kind of divide it into 2 parts. In the first part, the students get to do the hands-on, where they do what's called hand milled soap. So you take soap that already exists, my unscented goat milk soap, we mill it down or grate it down, remelt it. They get to pour it into fancy molds. And then while their soap is setting up, in the second half of class, I do a demonstration of, okay, here's how you take the lye, the goat milk, and your fats and combine it all
Okay.
together and make soap. So,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
and there's usually a platter at some point circulated by my gorgeous assistant, Farmer Dave, containing illegal cheese for people to sample.
Well, my brother does illegal beef jerky, so maybe we'll do a class. And I'll bring
There you go. Got a couple things in the chat. Mindy Beecher says, but you have the salve for your tired, cracked hands. Ask about the salve.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is a brand new thing. We sort of use family and friends at Christmas time as guinea pigs. And,
human testing.
yeah.
I love this
Human
plan.
trials, yeah. A little cheese and human trials, yeah. But I discovered plantain last year, and it's basically a weed that we are fortunate to have growing rampant at the farm. And like I cut my knee pretty bad, and I had just heard about this stuff. So I took a leaf of it and just crushed it up, put it on there. The next day, there was a marked change and improvement and healing in it.
Wow.
So I looked into it a little more, and I made a salve just with coconut oil infused with the dried leaves of it and a little bit of beeswax.
Cool.
And it's been awesome this winter when I can't just go out in the backyard and pick a leaf
You've
off
got
of a
that.
plant.
Yeah.
For any little nicks or cuts.
Tell the story about the chicken.
Oh, I was
Oh,
gonna say
yeah.
you have a chicken that's
Yeah,
named
we have
after
a
this.
chicken whose name is Plantain Head.
Best.
So I'm learning about this plantain. I've seen it work miracles on little cuts and scrapes that I've gotten working on the farm. And we were raising some chickens last year, and this one hen got mercilessly attacked by the other chickens.
Jesus.
And they had pecked away at her neck so bad that she basically had a hole in her neck.
Oh my gosh.
It was
backbone. You could see.
it was bad. And I'm looking at her thinking, well, she's probably gonna die, you know, she's probably not gonna this is a really bad injury. So what the heck? So I separated her out, picked a few plantain leaves, ripped them up with my hands, and packed them in the wound. And the next day already could see improvement. After a week, the wound was half the size that it was when we started. And today she's wandering around fully feathered, and you would never know that anything ever happened to her.
Wow.
So
that is crazy. So is it easy to grow these, or
They just grow everywhere.
just it's
It's
like
just
weed
the
you said,
weeds,
so it grows
like a broadleaf
Huh.
weed that just they're everywhere.
I'm
That's
sure
cool.
everybody in this room has seen it and just
Probably.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
thought nothing of it, but
it's
pretty
just a little
amazing
labor
stuff.
intensive to pick it and infuse it and all that, and we charge a little more for that soap and soap too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I made the salve with it, and then I thought, what the heck, I should try this in soap, and we found that the soap has also got really good qualities like that.
Oh
So-
yeah.
We've
I mean,
really been getting some good feedback on that. We, the woman who owns a pizza shop in Mayville, her daughter just swore by it after she started using it. She bought some, and she bought some right away. Then we have other people with skin issues have all said the same thing. So
Nice.
yeah, I took a shovel to the face in
I was
between
gonna
the,
say.
the activated charcoal and the plantain leaves. I mean, you can't tell that I took a shovel to the face.
It looks much better.
It
I'm
looks
okay
a
with
lot
that.
better.
So-
Between that and then you said that Becky also gave you the oil too. So between all of it, it's
Yeah,
been, like,
I was just like,
healing
nope,
you up.
this is my moneymaker. You know, my personality isn't that great, so I got to look cute,
Oh
right?
my goodness. So I also have Leanne saying that cheesy edibles would be huge. You could call it twice baked cheese. That's a good idea. Gosh, all kinds of marketing. Like we're having a marketing meeting online right now.
I know. Yeah. And if you missed one, you can go back and listen to the show and be like, what did he say about the, goat bard or
Yeah.
goat behind bars or something?
Yeah, we're archived on our YouTube channel, as everybody knows, but we're also re-aired on solidstateradio.net Saturdays between 4 and 6, and whenever they feel like throwing us up there, because apparently people like us.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I haven't heard no feedback on that. How we?
I've met a couple people that recognized me.
Yeah.
Off from Solid State Radio.
Speaking of meeting people that recognize us from the podcast, I got to tell this story. I went to Game On in Saginaw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I went to the store, I went to the scrub place right next to it, right? So I walk in there, and there's this lady behind the counter, and she's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? How can I help you?" I'm like, "I'm looking for scrubs." She's like, "Well, you're in the right store." And I'm like, "Cool, this is awesome." She's like, "Well, what kind of scrubs you looking for?" I'm like, "They make ridiculously comfortable PJs." So she's like, "Oh, so you wear scrubs at night and you do a podcast?" And of course, I do a double take, and I'm like, "How do you know I do a podcast?" Well, idiot me, because I suck at remembering names.
True story.
It was Chelsea, the manager from We the Infamous.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're coming on the show in 2 weeks."
They're going to be joining us. Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Any news back on the roller derby chicks?
Still hearing they are doing a poll on what days that we have available left, and because they have 28 members on their team, not all 28 are going to be here
Damn.
because there's no way we're fitting them all in this studio.
Hey, we've had
but they're-
27 people in the studio at one
That's
time.
true. That is true. But they're trying to figure out which day works best for them.
So how are we going to do this? Where are we going to do this?
Oh, we're gonna make Nate stand outside and kind of file him in.
Yeah. Okay, you've talked on the microphone. You go out. Okay, you change up. Like I don't know what they yell
You
when
don't
they're
look
doing
funny. You can't come in.
Yeah, you don't look funny.
One for every letter of the alphabet.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we've got quite a bit of a lineup going on. So guys, just keep tuned. I keep on trying to advertise that on the page.
I'm
and-
still working on Greta Van Fleet.
Sweet. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, working on. I just hope it'll happen. I'm not really doing anything about it.
So basically, you just inbox me and then I'm supposed to try. I don't know.
Nah,
No,
we'll
no.
just hope.
Just hoping.
That's right.
But yeah, so yeah, lots of really, really cool things. It'd be cool to be able to come out to the farm and do like maybe a live video from the Don't Make This Weird podcast and kind of see a little bit behind the scenes if you guys would ever.
See, I thought
Be
about doing
interested in
that,
that.
but he's like, "Well, we can't show this right now because it's classified."
Okay, well, I don't see. You got to tell me these things.
FDA
Well, you
helicopters
could come
will
in
be
March or
rushing in.
April and feature goat kids because they're adorable.
That's true. See, I'm all about that. Yeah, I can do that. I'll go live for that.
Field trip.
Yeah. Sounds good. I like that. So basically you guys are been really, really busy, and I've seen all the posts with the cold weather you guys were suffering through all of that.
Yeah.
And you've got actual cameras, so you don't have to go out in this cold right now. I seen that bit or that post too, and that's cool. How is all of that working? You still go out there anyway, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're still going out there regardless because you're thinking that they're having them already.
I set the cameras up a few years ago. I bought some cheap cameras off Amazon, but there's this one camera. I always got to tell a story about it. I just bought the cheapest one, IP cameras you could get. You know? And one of them, the goats knocked it off the wall, and the bracket broke, and it fell in a bucket. The bucket froze over.
Oh my gosh!
And I took it out of the bucket. It was after I broke the ice. Took it out of the bucket and just threw it off to the side, or it laid on the ground in dust and dirt and straw and poop till summer. And then one day, I think maybe even till the next fall or the next kidding season, I saw it on the ground. I said, I wonder. So I picked it up, and then I had to find a power thing because they chewed that all up too, power adapter. So I'm looking all over. I got a power adapter. I plugged it in. I'll be damned if that thing didn't still work just as good as the day. After all of that,
quality control.
It sat in a bucket of water overnight and froze to the bottom.
Wow.
Or almost to the bottom because it was really cold that year. And then it sat on the ground for a year.
Because wasn't that the year of the heat lamp when we had heat lamps running everywhere?
Yeah, I think it was that super cold winter. I mean, that was challenging.
Stupid cold. It was awful.
10 feet of snow, especially since I don't have to drive to work anymore. Over that cold stuff,
Oh, but cold. Yeah, I love the barn cams. I think this time of year he might not be as big a fan of them because especially as we get closer and closer to the girls' due dates.
Yeah.
I'm like glued to the screen and every little shadow or light falling weirdly on hay. I'm like, it's a baby on the ground. I got to get out. It's another
Well, what happens every year is at the beginning when the first ones are due, she should I set an alarm for every 7 minutes tonight? No, I don't think that's necessary. If you want to set one for maybe the middle of the night, we can go out and check then. So I'll set it for every 2 hours. So she sets it for every 2 hours. She goes out there every 2 hours and checks on them. And
just grab a blanket.
Happened, or you
so
go
this
out
is
there.
why I was glad when you suggested this date to come back and visit you guys, because I'm like, I'll still be, at least halfway sane.
Right.
You want to talk to me in the middle of March? Forget it.
Yeah, she's like, there's too much going on there. Now I understand. Now I get it.
By the end of kidding season, and after you've had 4 or 5 mamas have their kids, then you get a whole lot more lax about it.
Right.
And you don't go out there. You just sleep through the night. If they have kids in the morning, they have kids in the morning.
Part of that is you're just exhausted because you've been getting up every 2 hours.
Right.
We even went out there one time and 2 moms, similar looking moms, had given kids at the same time. They both had twins.
This is when we were both still working full time off farm.
We didn't know who belonged to who.
Oh.
I think we got it right because the moms accepted them. So
we got it right on the second try because what happened? These girls were sisters.
Yeah,
big sister and little sister.
Right.
They looked a lot alike themselves.
Right.
The kids looked alike. So we get them. We pull them out from the main stall. We put each mama in her own stall, and we're guessing. We're like, okay, we think these kids look more like this girl. So we put those in there and then we put the other ones in with the other mama, and it was very quickly evident that we had not gotten that right based on how they were acting. So we switched them, and then everybody relaxed, and we were like, okay, this must be right.
Didn't have to get Maury involved.
Yeah.
You are not the mother.
Maury Farm Edition.
People would watch it.
That's great. Adam is messaging in chat sit next to me. He says, again, we need a kid, baby. I heard that offer. And also, Becky says, goat yoga with the kids? ?
Goat yoga class.
I think I've seen something about that before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll try it. I don't care.
I've done goat massages, but I've never done the goat yoga, but I have heard about it. I have a friend that's done it. She does yoga and she has goats also. She has a couple of our goats actually from our farm.
I'd try it.
That's wild.
So do they have to be Vietnamese for the happy ending?
Oh my god.
For the massage.
So wrong. So wrong.
Nate just inboxed me and asked that. So.
He did not. He's like, look at my phone. I did not. Oh,
asking for a friend.
Right.
No, it's a therapeutic massage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, weirdo.
Really, Nate? Why are you gonna throw me under the bus like that?
Because I'm a good person and I seen the inbox message about the wrong person. You?
What?
You messaged me for the
No,
No, it was Nate. Nate asked. Anyway, I'm trying to
See,
he
he messaged you about cheese, and he messaged me about goat hookers.
You're not supposed to message us over an open line, dude. Have you not seen Goodfellas?
Yeah, it did say Nate. He's asking.
Funny, like
Yeah, so House Under says you should name a baby goat Gotham. So if she don't want to go check on him or her, she can roll over and say Gotham needs you. Any man will answer that call.
We'll get him a bat light with a goat on it.
That is funny. That was good. You need to hang out more often in chat, House Under. That was good.
Did you want this one too?
Passing around the cheese again. Sorry,
10%
guys at
handling
home.
fee.
So good.
Hashtag illegal cheese for life.
So, tell us a little bit more about the Etsy store. I know last time you guys were on, you talked about it, but
Yeah, that actually, I think we didn't have it up quite yet the last time we saw you guys, but we were moving in that direction, and so we opened it in early December.
I think so. That sounds right.
Beginning of December, and it's going all right so far.
yeah, a lot to
We've had
inventory.
a couple out of state sales, so that's
Oh,
cool.
Oh,
Nice.
fun.
We do ask a little bit more per bar out there than we do in person, but for now, anyway, we're still keeping our direct from the farm or our festival on-site prices the same that they've been for 9 years. But out there, we just ask like $1 more per bar.
Yeah, because you got shipping included and everything. So, do you have any more? Like you had Hippie Fest recently. Do you have any other shows or anything that you guys are going to be doing coming up?
We might try and line up some more between now and then, but for right now, the next thing coming up is going to be Mid-Michigan Renaissance Festival.
Yes.
Yes.
We are looking at a Gypsy Goddess Festival. That's the first weekend in June, so that wouldn't interfere with Mid-Mich.
Right.
And that is out in Chesaning, but we have to see if we're accepted to that yet.
Yeah.
But that looks like it'd be really fun. They've got music and all kinds of cool stuff
I seen
happening.
that Hippie Fest did too. That looked really
Hippie
cool.
Fest was a blast.
Yeah. I have to go next time.
We're doing another one of those at Canterbury Village.
Okay.
In August. It's the first weekend of August. I want to say the 3rd and the 4th, but whatever that Saturday and Sunday is. Last year was the first year event and it was 1 day. This year they're expanding it to 2 days. So we're excited about that.
Nice.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I am definitely interested. So if you guys have the links for that stuff, or can I find it on Stone Cottage Farm?
You can, or I
page?
can shoot it to you.
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and share those. Let me know when you guys get the one for the Gypsy Fest, and I can share that too. So we really, really, really enjoy being able to support you guys because we love what you do. Of course, you come back, and our listeners absolutely went crazy over the last show. So we're glad that you guys are here to join us. So.
And might I add, it was one of our best shows.
It was.
It was the best show. I checked.
It was.
I had the most listeners.
Yep, it was for sure. I was like, did you see our ratings
Not by
on that?
much, but
It's still going though. People are still listening, so that's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And now that we have Solid State Radio, they're sharing it on that too. So we're
That's
getting heard twice.
so
And
is it just the same show recorded that plays then? Okay.
Yep.
Yep, they restream it on their platform, and they're all in the Lapeer area and like some northern Detroit suburbs and stuff like that. So you guys are getting up out there this time.
Yep. And they also have several different shows on their platform too. So that's kind of neat. There's all kinds of stuff on there, sports and I don't know, all kinds of things. So
yeah.
The witch.
Something
Armchair
for
athletes.
witches.
The
Yeah, there's something.
paranormal one.
Yep,
Yeah.
paranormal. That's what I was trying to think of, but my brain's just not firing on all cylinders.
They do armchair athletes too.
Yeah.
Sean and Adam.
Oh my gosh, those guys were fun too.
We
They were
listened
funny.
to an alternative one, the 90s alternative done or something like that.
Yeah.
We were coming home from Detroit to one day, and she was flicking through Facebook and seen Sean's post.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, let's put it on solid state." And we put it through the aux cord, and yeah, 90s grunge. Love it. That's my shit.
Nice. Mindy Beecher says, "I'm listening, but my brother paid me to do it." Oh, my self-esteem just went down. Thanks, Mindy. Just kidding.
We didn't get paid.
Right.
Wait.
Did you at least get a 20 spot out of it? I mean, come on.
Yeah, buy some soap.
Wait, we can't. Tony bought it all.
Oh, true. That is true. No, just teasing. I'm glad that you're listening tonight. Thank you guys for joining us in chat.
See, that's the great part about it. I've been hated for a lot of things in my life. I knew I finally made it when I got hated for buying soap. They're like, "Oh, you dick, you brought it all." And I'm like, "But you can have one."
Oh, that's
First
how he's
one's
keeping
free.
friends.
That's right.
First line's free.
See, they're my soap dealer, and now people are coming to me. I gotta, jack that price up. I'll give you the first one for free, but you gotta go talk to them. And if they like you, you might get illegal cheese.
You might. We're gonna have people like if you guys will join us again, at some point. Hopefully, we'll have people trying to get in the studio because they're like, "Oh, they're gonna bring soap and illegal cheese." Yeah.
Do you not see how full the studio is tonight? The word got
full.
out.
Yeah, that's all right.
Come on,
Might have
man.
another.
Come on, man.
Another exciting thing too that you guys had recently is your Facebook page. You've got a lot more followers now.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. We had done that a couple times in the past when we were just getting the page started, and like looking back in memories, it's like, oh, look, we were waiting for our 100th like for the page, and so we were getting close to 2000. Had a little ways to go. I thought, well, we'll run a contest. And I think it was less than a week we hit that mark and got to do the prize pack giveaway. So that was really cool.
That's cool.
And as far as so just to be clear, Tony is a voluntary dealer. We're not like in any multi-level marketing or anything.
No.
Ixnay.
Just get your own startup kit now for $149.
Right.
Right this time.
And it was funny because
we have our seminars at the airport Hilton on the first Tuesday of every month.
Everybody will have like the Amway people.
Yeah, that's what I was fading.
Oat milk, so you don't really even have to sell it. You just have to have your friends buy it.
it really sells itself.
It's like this.
So they say.
What happens is you sell it, then they sell underneath. It's not a pyramid, even though it looks like.
Right. But if he sells 50 bars of soap, you get a quarter.
That's right.
Or a free
each
bar of
box.
soap.
Yeah, and I seen too that someone had commented when he posted the picture of the basket or something, or when they had shared it. No, this is legit. You really are going to get this. It isn't just some kind of scam or something. And I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, it's legit, So
I'll do
that's cool.
testimonials.
Heck yeah. I think we all would. I think we all are right now.
Pretty much. I mean, what has been the first half of the show? We've just been ranting and raving about the soap and the illegal cheese. I mean, that's the funny part about it. I'm not above shameless promotion if the product works.
Right.
And with you guys from day one. And it's great because you're very nonchalant about, hey, so we've got a new scent. Do you want to try it?
First line's free.
Right, exactly. So of course I'm gonna be like, duh.
Yeah, I am definitely interested in when you get some more of the vanilla or whatever. The spearmint, I think it was spearmint vanilla, maybe.
I've had vanilla or vanilla patchouli.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Because I had bought the vanilla from Bath and Body Works, and I'm trying to get away from all of that stuff, and I'm like, I need something like that, but better, like goat milk soap.
I actually developed a vanilla patchouli at the request of one of our good customers at Marlette Farmers Market.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'm still trying to come up with a blend. His dealer moved to Florida, his soap dealer.
he's rock bottom.
And so he said that she used to make this vanilla patchouli, and did
Okay.
I make anything like that? And I said, well, no, I haven't, but that doesn't mean I couldn't.
Right.
But I'm still trying to find the blend that is what he remembers as far
Right.
as how much of a balance of each of the scents.
Right.
But in the meantime, what I've made, I really like, and other people have really liked as well. So
That's cool. And how many scents do you guys actually have now?
oh gosh,
I know I would ask that question. I'm that person.
That's one thing that I've tossed around. Okay, should I just come up with these are the 10 or these are the 20 or these are fill in the
Right.
blank with whatever number of scents that that's all I'm going to make.
Right.
And to me, that's just too boring and too limiting. So I'm sort of experimenting all the time with different blends. And then we have amazing things happen. Like here's a pound of myrrh oil. So,
Right.
so now I'm working on, coming up with a blend that incorporates that. So
Okay.
I don't really have a set list. As we get more festivals and more events and things under our belts, I am trying to keep track and pay attention of, okay, I sold the most of Blissful Blend or the most patchouli at this
No.
one,
Now we know coffee cinnamon sells well. We already said that before.
Right,
right.
So that'll always be on the list. But there's certain scents, like we had this young lady come over and she was going to help Christina make soap. This is a few years ago. We were just kind of starting out, and Christina had a bunch of random scents, and she goes, "Well, why don't you pick one to test?" And Tess says, "How about mandarin orange?" And I think we both had a kind of that eye roll, mandarin orange.
I was like,
That stuff
I'm thinking to
sells
myself,
like crazy.
that sounds
Really?
dumb. And to me personally, I didn't really care for that
Right.
scent very much.
Right.
So I'm like, well, whatever, it's just one batch.
But it's one
That's
of your.
been a really good seller. So
Yeah.
thank you, Tess.
Yeah.
It's just like our fishing stories. We go out fishing, and I say, "Okay, Christina, pick the lure," and she'd pick the pink lure, and I'd turn around my back to her. This is when we were first dating, and I'd roll my eyes.
Oh, Adam's making.
But
the
I'd put it
faces.
on, and we put it out there, and it caught all the damn fish all day. You should never roll your eyes.
Yeah, Heather and I taught Heather how to fish for largemouth and smallmouth last year. I started her with a curly tail because that's basically what you start with. And she goes, "Babe, I want the jitterbug." I said, "Okay." And she outfished me the rest of the year. Like smallmouth, largemouth, you name it, she caught it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and I usually now he lets me go and pick different lures out when we were going to buy them. He's like, "What do you think's gonna work good?" I'm like, "This one. I have a feeling about it," and it has worked out that way. So, oh yeah, fishing's fun, especially
So
from the
throwing out
kayaks.
some good aura.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, I could be like, "Oh, that one's just really pretty," but it's mostly probably what's happening. So, but yeah,
So as far as the scents, I mean, it's just she's the one that she'll see some, or she'll think of some on her own, and there's some that I will never think would work, but I don't even think we have anything that doesn't sell. I mean, some are a little bit less, but
There's definitely favorites. The coffee cinnamon is just nothing can surpass that as the favorite.
yeah.
The exfoliating properties, I'm just saying.
And the charcoal, which is one of the newest ones, I think that one's going to be pretty popular too.
Yeah.
Even
That's
though
incredible.
just like that one and the two different ones that we have with the plantain, we ask a little more for
Mhm.
because of the process of
Yeah,
harvesting and all
Yeah.
that. But the charcoal, our son Anthony is also a fisherman,
Mhm.
and he came back from ice fishing, cleaned his catch, used bar that charcoal soap, and said it immediately took the scent away. Like you would have never known he had been
Cinnamon does
cleaning
that
fish.
too.
Yeah.
And and we've heard the same thing about the coffee cinnamon. So
Nice.
It's funny you say that because when we were joking around about, "Oh yeah, I'm going to brush my teeth with this bar of soap,"
He did. He has.
I actually have every single day, and I got to say, I notice that my teeth are getting whiter.
I am not.
It's insane.
I'm not as concerned because at first I was like, "Wait a minute, the lie
looks
and
concerned.
stuff." I don't know about that, so I don't know. I was like, I think you need to talk to her and ask her if that's the case.
So why do Band-Aid containers say for external use only? Oh wait, Tony. I have an ulcer. Hold on, give me one of them Band-Aids.
I look at it this way: if there was enough of the concentrated stuff inside these bars of soap to rip my head off when I'm brushing my teeth, of course I'm a dumbass. I shouldn't be brushing my teeth with a bar of soap. But this stuff is all natural. I mean, it's meant to be on your skin. Granted, I'm sure if you're swallowing it and doing shots of it, probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
well, I mean, blowing bubbles.
If you look at the actual
you swallow it,
toothpaste,
you
though,
could fart bubbles. So
Exactly.
I'm kind of hoping this.
Company.
I'm kind of hoping this happens. I kind of want to see this. Well, I don't want to see it.
No,
Come on, man.
no.
Don't make this weird.
Speaking of bubbles and
Thanks,
blowing them, he's back in town. He wanted you to get home.
Get his number, dude. I just got my phone turned back on.
There he is.
Holy
He was
shit,
listening
bubbles.
tonight.
So I know you said it was good for scent removal. Have you guys ever thought about doing like a scent removal or scent cover for like a deer hunting type product?
We get a lot of people asking about it, and I think even like our cedarwood sage would be good. I mean, because those are all, I mean, if you're in a cedar forest or something,
Right.
there's always a lot of sage around. That would naturally do it, or just the unscented. But we have talked about it, and I think we need to look into it to market for that, because hunters will spend probably more than women will on soap, their beauty products. So. You know how those hunters are.
You may or may not be completely 100% accurate.
That's right.
Well, I know you guys have done limited run stuff for your scents too, because I remember out at the Ren Fair last year, you had what was it, the Enchanted Forest soap or whatever?
That was a blend.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the only time I've done that one.
Well, that and the blissful blend, that's the only other
Yeah, the blissful blend is similar to that, but
Right.
it wasn't. Yeah. So every once, and like the our honey oatmeal, that's generally one I only make once a year.
Right.
There's certain ones that I like to save for certain times of the year.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And now that I have this amazing myrrh oil, I'm pretty sure that for Christmas 2019, even though that's a long ways off yet, there are going to be gold, frankincense, and myrrh bars.
Nice.
Oh, man.
I will be
like
the
it.
first one in line.
Of course you will be. And I
Call
will
me
be-
baby Jesus.
Oh my
All up in the manger, baby.
So I missed one of the comments on the chat when Mindy said that she was being paid. Health Center said, "Is she being paid an illegal cheese? Because I can get down on that."
There's a thing there. I'm telling you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, this is really good stuff. I would be happy. I'd be like, okay, I'll have a couple bars of soap and some cheese, and I will work. I'm okay. What face? You're making a face.
He sent me an inbox message.
Okay. Who? Health Center?
No.
Oh, I was like, wow, that guy works fast. He's trying to get in.
Oh yeah. Hey, there's another good idea.
What's that?
Nate just sent me peace and calming soap.
Oh, I need something for that. My inner bitch needs some calming. No, lately. Lately.
She look at her eyes. She's got crazy girl
Look
eyes.
at I do.
Maybe you can't
See?
pick these out yet.
Frankincense lavender blend.
I'm gonna need some of that ASAP. Now, I'm usually not crabby, but like I was explaining earlier, with losing as much weight, like all the estrogen is stored in the fat. And after, thank you, honey, for the roller coaster there. So from losing my weight, I'm like, I am an angry person all of a sudden.
Wow.
I really like, I don't know what's happening.
Well,
No,
it's
you-
making all your bitch juice for a big girl, and you're not a big girl anymore. So
Exactly.
you're getting overloaded.
I know it's kind of the nice, like you put it in a different way, but yeah.
That's
I
the
don't have to
marketing.
sleep with you. I can just say whatever I want.
That's the marketing. It's not peace and calming. It's bitch juice.
That bitch juice soup or soap.
Here, I'll take another cup of that bitch juice soup. That's good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm gonna have to check into that.
and for those people that are going to like all those healthy food places and whatnot, you got the the bitch juice cheese.
Yes.
We can call it bitch be gone.
Yes, bitch
Sometimes-
juice feta.
Oh gosh, Becky says I can make an anti-Satan roller for you, Heather.
Adam's like, I'll take some with sage and holy water.
Holy water.
The power of Christ compels you.
I haven't been that horrible, but I might get there if I don't figure this out.
I can't get this bar of soap lit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you're just like, I don't know what's happening.
You're not supposed to smoke the soap, Heather.
I'll try anything to calm down, I guess.
Bitch juice.
It won't show up on any. It won't show up on any testing, I don't think.
We need to make that into a t-shirt and have a goat on there pissed off.
So many things are happening here tonight. You guys are giving away all of the good ideas.
Hey, that's what we don't get paid for.
I'm just trying to get a new job out of the bar. So if you guys need marketing, I'm your guy.
Yeah. Actually, you guys just recently were working on labels. You had an overwhelming, I think, amount of comments on the different choices that you had available, and it was cool to see everybody chiming in. And they looked really good. You were really good at doing labels and the Photoshop stuff.
That was all Farmer Dave. He did all of that. So.
Yeah, it was cold outside, so I spent 2 or 3 days in the house doing that.
Yeah.
So and I put them out there for people to vote or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I put them out on another group out there that we're members of, and they've got 100,000 members. So
oh wow!
we always pick up some likes that way. My goal is 10,000 by the end of the year. So.
And he's like, he was teasing me the other day. He shows me his phone. He's like, check it out. I've only got 26,000 unread emails. And just him saying that without me even seeing the notification, I kind of get this nervous twitch.
Yeah, a little bit of anxiety.
So
there.
when he was posting those labels and asking, it was just like, I'm not exaggerating. Like every second there was another notification coming in from, people
Twitch,
saying, oh, number 6, number 1, I vote for this, I vote for that.
Yeah.
And we were getting good suggestions, but after a while I was like, I can't even look at my phone anymore.
Can't do this. Oh, I would be there
keep
too.
Up.
Uh-huh.
Now, on your Facebook page, you can do polls. You can create polls.
I have seen polls out there before.
Yeah, and you can add in items
for a long time.
and all that. And that totals it up for you. You can just run it once and then check it a week later, and it totals it up for
That's
you.
a good idea.
That would be a lot gentler on my OCD.
I could probably show you
Yeah.
how to do it. I think it's pretty easy. There's not much to it.
And for temporary uses while that poll is going on, you can mute a specific notification for that post.
Right.
That's true.
So you can mute it just for that post. The rest of your Facebook is normal and sane and okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that notification for that poll.
And you can check it in
It's-
7 days.
Right.
That would be
I think
awesome.
what happened with
Yeah.
that is I'd create the post on our Stone Cottage Farm page.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd share it with my personal ones to a different site. And for some reason, we couldn't turn notifications off because some people comment in the Stone Cottage Farm post. Some people comment on the Homestead of Sustainability's post. I know how to turn off notifications. Like a lot of people, they put the 2 dots or follow after it. It's like, just go up to the top and hit follow,
amateurs.
Right.
And, so I know how to do that. And there's some reason we couldn't turn them all off. So,
It was going
it
crazy.
didn't bother me. I was expecting it. I was doing it, try to get more likes towards our page.
Right.
I got several hundred likes doing that.
That was awesome.
That's cool.
So, going on the internet with all this stuff, you guys actually have a pretty good shot of something really big happening. It's a lot of soap.
Yeah.
You're going to need more goats.
Yeah. Well, we don't really use that much milk to make a batch of soap.
That is true. He does need a lot more to make a batch of cheese than I do for a
Right.
batch of soap.
Right.
That's, this year with the 15 girls expecting, that's just 1 or 2 shy of twice as many as we've ever had freshening in 1 year. And so, the last few years, we've been averaging 8-9 gallons of milk a day. Well, it's just the 2 of us at home. You can only drink so much and cook with so much and make so much cheese and so much soap. So it actually would be kind of good if
It went
something
viral.
big happened and I needed to suddenly make a whole bunch more soap, because we might be able to just bathe in the milk this year. I don't know.
So you're saying I need to show up once a month?
That would be awesome.
All right.
Keep me on my toes, man.
Yeah. I got a couple things in the chat. House Under said Pope on a rope. Leon says, do you have any cookbooks with meals using your cheeses?
There you
We
go.
don't. I use it anything. I use cheese then, mac and cheese. I make homemade mac and cheese. And
I suddenly feel really unprepared. I should have came with a notebook to write down all these great ideas.
We're archived.
Well, it's archived.
So
you listen to it anytime you want.
Yeah.
And then my future brother-in-law says, "What's up?" It's Rob joining us. Did you message him and tell him that we were on right now?
I did like an hour.
Oh, all right. Well, way to show up, Rob.
Just in time for the next show.
That's right.
Right. That would be cool though to do. And I know you guys have a YouTube channel too, don't you?
We just started that. We haven't really done much out there. I think she gave a demonstration on the loofah gourds that we grew last year.
That was cool. That was cool.
And I don't know if there's even anything else on there. Is there?
I don't think
we
there
just
is.
Created. This week we're looking at Instagram. I don't get Instagram. But everybody says we need to be on Instagram, so we're looking into it to be on there. I mean, social media is.
It's
weird.
been huge.
It's been huge for us.
Helping us to
really
get these classes going.
Absolutely.
And like you said, as long as we keep a positive presence out there, and a lot of people like to see that. I don't.
Yeah. One really humbling and really, I guess, huge thing from my perspective that's come out of our Facebook page and the social media stuff is, like today I got a message from a gal who she's been to one of my soap classes, but she and her family also have a few goats. Well, she's experiencing an issue, and I'm not by any means promoting that we're veterinarians or experts in any way, but just to have people recognize us and recognize that we care about what we're doing, and we have put a lot of time and effort and are always trying to learn more about it. And to know that, 9 years ago with the first kidding season, actually the very first birth that we had was a trouble birth.
Yeah.
And we called this mentor of ours at 1 a.m. and she answered her phone out of a dead sleep and said, "I'll be there in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And so we had that awesome support from complete strangers from the very beginning, and to now 9 years later be in a position to where we're someone that people are calling or messaging and looking to for help is just, it's really amazing.
That's cool.
That's cool when you can actually, from experience and stuff like you said, and then you have people that are looking up to you and kind of like an inspiration. That's cool. It's very cool. And I seen the pictures from when you guys started the farm or when you got the farm. And I remember him saying something about you don't look like you've changed at all. At all. Looking at those pictures. It's like, okay, there is something to this goat soap and stuff. So that's cool though. That's really neat to see.
On me, apparently, though.
I'm not bad for 27.
I say, you're killing it, man.
Retiring at 27. That's awesome. That's cool.
Well, it's because I buy their soap all the time. So I pretty much paid for Dave's retirement single-handedly.
There you go. Yeah. Adam was asking, do you ever have any predator issues?
We haven't. We've
not.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
We've never had like coyotes, I guess, when I think of predators, but we have had.
Awesome.
We had a possum a couple of years ago, and we caught him. Possums are stupid, but the last year,
quite recently,
we were going out, and there'd be 1 or 2 chickens dead every night. They tried to drag it into a hole way too small. And 1 or 2 every night. I thought it was another possum. So I went out there and I got traps all set up. Fat possums are easy to catch. And as I'm working on it and plugging up holes, because we keep our chickens in a camper, we move around.
A mobile poultry mansion.
And so I'm blocking up holes and everything. And then I look out of my corner eye and I see this weasel thing. And it was a mink. It ended up being a mink. And so then I'm setting up traps trying to get the mink. You have to set up a trap so you can get a mink.
But
you don't get a chicken, So I'm setting up all these traps, and every night 1 or 2 chickens are dead, and they don't even eat much of them.
Right.
What they do is they kill them, and then they try to like hide them to eat for later, but they like eat the brain right away, And this is I knew nothing about minks 4 months ago. Now I know a lot about minks.
The great mink reign of terror taught us all.
So So one day after 2, I just got frustrated out there and I plugged every single hole I could find. And I think all I did was piss him off because he killed 4 that night. Instead of 2 at the max that he'd done before.
Wow.
So then that got me mad. So my son came over and we took all the chickens out of the coop. We put them in a stall in the barn. And then I set up, you couldn't even walk in that coop without stepping on a trap. I had traps of all kinds in there, and I'd conibears and rat traps and one have a heart, the live traps. I put one of his kills from the night before into the back of it, and that caught him.
Really?
Caught
in
him.
the live trap.
The live trap. And if you've never heard a mink scream, it comes from the depths of hell.
Yeah.
It is the freakiest thing you've ever heard.
Horrible,
it's
hissing.
Just like send chills right up your spine. But
did you ground it?
He got lead poisoning.
He's no longer with us.
But yeah, he took out over half of our flock.
He took out over 20 some chickens in a matter of.
So you're saying you took him to
weeks.
Flint and he drank the water?
That's right. That's
gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was and that was probably, he took out a lot, but that was probably the biggest we've had as far as predators.
We have heard and seen coyotes on our property.
I take that back. There was that one time several years ago where I walked out to we didn't even have a fence around them then. We just had them where they could free range out in the middle of the pasture.
Again, chickens.
And I'd walked out, with a bag of food and bucket of water and I'm walking out, I'm going, because usually they run to you thinking you might have a treat that day. And I was like, I'm looking, where are all the chickens at? And I opened the door and there was no carnage, nothing. They're just all of a sudden I didn't have that many chickens then, but probably 10 of them gone. What did you say, about 10 or maybe less than that?
It was like 15 because we had about 20 total
they were just
at the time.
And
he opens the coop and there's the roux and like 4 hens.
Usually you see
terrified and everybody else was MIA.
Something comes in to get them, but there's nothing. There's no feathers all over the place. So dogs will come in. Dog will come in and just randomly kill them and leave them there. They might take one.
Yeah.
And then a smaller, like a fox or something, would just take one. I mean, a fox can't take 15 chickens out of it. They're not much bigger than a chicken. So we don't. Only thing I could think of was a pack of coyotes came in, and I accidentally left the fence off, the electric fence, that one day. I forgot to turn it back. The goats don't even test the fence anymore. It's on mostly to keep predators out.
Right.
They get zapped once or twice, and they I'm not going to. I don't do that again. That sucks. They look at me and go, the kids, when they're learning, go, dude, that sucks. I thought you loved me. But that's the only thing I can think of that one time. It had to have been a pack of coyotes came in through the fence. It just has to be. I don't know what else.
Yeah, because nothing else made sense at the time.
Yeah.
So we see them. We have them in our area, but that electric fence has been instrumental in keeping them out and away from the goats. So.
Oh, were you asking? You were going to ask.
What I was gonna say.
Oh,
Something about minks.
It just reminds me of the foghorn leghorn and the
Yes.
rooster. And
I
see enough feathers numbers for just such occasion.
that's the one. They're punching out at the end of the day. They fuck each other up all day. They punch out.
oh, that's funny.
I say that boy is as sharp as a bowling ball.
Oh, that's great. So you guys have goats and chickens and all kinds of other animals on the farm? Turkeys? Oh,
Rivermen
that's
turkeys.
Right.
We actually had sort of taken a break from them for a couple years. We had lost a couple of our hens to some turkey hens to some freak incidences, but we bought some poults last year. A poult is a baby turkey for anybody who doesn't know. And we kept a couple hens. And so our Tom finally had some girlfriends again. So we're at this point just waiting for them to start laying eggs regularly. And we're hopeful that we're going to get enough to be able to incubate a decent batch and sell the bourbon red turkey poults again this spring. They're absolutely beautiful birds. They're really cool to have around, and they're delicious.
So you're saying you would willingly hire somebody to work for soap to help on the farm? I mean, I know a guy. If you're interested.
Oh, they can't lose their bestseller.
So if you guys have dogs, watch the.
We do have a couple big rescue mutts.
But they're getting pretty old.
So we don't have, like, if you've heard of like a livestock guardian dog, we don't necessarily have dogs that live with the goats, but we do have a couple big dogs that are indoor, outdoor, and
sounds like you need a good pit bull.
Yeah.
So are turkeys the same way as like chickens and ducks and things like that? If you don't have a tom in the mix, they have non-fertile eggs that you can theoretically eat.
Yeah, they'll still lay eggs.
They'll still lay eggs, and they're edible still.
Yeah.
You guys
We got some at home right now. Actually, they've laid a few. They're good. Have you ever had a duck egg?
Oh yeah.
I'd say they're closer to a duck egg, which is a little denser.
Yeah.
If people say duck eggs are better for, surprisingly, the turkey eggs aren't much bigger than chicken eggs.
Oh, okay.
Even though the turkeys get quite a bit bigger than chickens when they grow up.
Yeah, duck eggs are good for baking, I hear.
Just because they're thicker.
Yeah.
So Leon in chat says, now I want to start a turkey brothel. Thanksgiving would rock.
Turkey brothel. Give a whole new meeting to stuffing the turkey.
Wow, out of left field. That was a great one. I wish we had a clap machine. That
was great, Dave.
I'm here all week, folks.
Try the meatloaf.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Adam had a question, but now he can't. He's done.
That's twice. That's twice you broke at him. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Oh, that's funny. That is great. So, yeah. See, I get these moments. I have all kinds of questions, and I'm just like, okay,
oh yeah,
that just happened. So I got nothing.
All these questions, and it's like, now I have to be careful.
Now what do I do?
No, we don't.
No, there's no careful here.
We don't have
sexual. With another shameless plug for the soap.
There you go. Yes.
So if you haven't been able to make it out to any of the festivals, and you can't make it out to the farm, but you still want to pay the slightly less than Etsy prices, we are still. Our soap is still available at 2 different shops in Marlette, the Beauty Stop LLC, which is right downtown, and Before and After Vintage, which is a really cool shop. So go see Vern at the Beauty Stop, or go see the gals at Before and After, and they have a really nice selection of our scents available there. And they're offered at the same low $4 a bar or 3 for $10. So.
Nice.
That's such a great price for that, guys.
We should totally go talk to like Healthy Habits and the Dig Cafe. I hope they're listening tonight, because I mean, I'm telling you, we're not faking the funk here. This stuff is legit, and you guys would make a killing over there.
We talk about that too, going out to, sell more at retail places, but both those places kind of contacted us to do it, and to sell the soap, and maybe we should go out. We just don't know. We have a hard time figuring out what their markup should be or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
understandable. Like with the jewelry and stuff that I make, I never know how to price anything.
Yeah.
So usually out at Renfest, I'll have like Leon will be out there. He's Jacob Grimm out at the Renaissance Festival, and he'll bring people by my booth and be like, cheapest prices around, because I don't know better. So I'm horrible at pricing out stuff, because it's not about making the money. It's just because it's something that I love doing. So.
Exactly. And that's, when I started making soap, I've struggled with really temperamental skin my whole life, and I just wanted something for myself and our family that I knew was all natural, that was made with as many local ingredients as possible and as few ingredients as possible.
Yeah.
You can pronounce everything on the label.
Yep.
99% of the ingredients in my soap you could eat in its raw state.
And Tony has tried.
Yes, and Tony has tried.
Hey, this stuff's delicious.
Please don't try this at home. Yeah.
Like speaking of that, not to cut you off, but my friend's dog, she's listening right now, Cupid. Anytime we come over, he will try to lick us because of the soap. Or she had Tony had given her a bar of the soap and he was trying to eat it. So yeah, I mean,
well, here's the ingredient list if you want to read it off.
It's good to know. It's safe.
It's
she knows
goat milk.
Yep.
Well, actually, the first ingredient, if you've ever bought a bar of our soap, the first ingredient listed on every bar is love. Best
ingredient ever, by the way.
Yes. And that's the truth. Because I know it sounds sappy, but we do care. So goat milk, tallow, and lard, which both of those I render myself, coconut oil.
She's
and
pocketing my soap.
I saw that happening, yeah. So that's the basic ingredients. And then the only thing we ever scent our soap with is pure essential oil. And then to some of them, we will add like dried or ground herbs, or like with the honey oatmeal that obviously has local raw honey and oatmeal in it. So
no, do you guys do anything with like the bees locally, or you just like get stuff from local?
We kept bees for a couple years. Yeah. And then a few years ago when it was stupid cold forever.
Yeah.
We lost our hives that year. A lot of folks lost their hives that year. And it just hasn't been something we've been able to get back into.
Right.
But there is a gal kind of right around the corner from us, just a couple miles away. It's Circle T Apiary. That's the name of it, right?
That's what I was right. I know.
And sawmill, because her husband does the sawmill.
Really?
And so that's where we get our honey from now. It's literally like 3 miles from us. So
nice.
That's cool.
Well, to check those guys out.
And you're not too far from another one of the farms that does like fresh flowers, I think.
That's our neighbors, Doug and Cat at Long Haul Farm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long Haul. We met them at the
Made in Michigan.
Yeah, the Made in Michigan, and very nice people. They were talking about doing a fun little podcast thing, and we're like, oh, that would be cool to do. So
we love Doug and Cat. We're pretty much blessed with the best neighbors ever. So.
They said that too, so I guess the feelings are mutual. That's awesome.
They were talking about the people to the west.
Yeah. Oh, Becky says that her soap is under lock and key because he tries to eat it. So, yeah, he's another little pit bull. He's a cutie.
He tries to lick me to death.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the soap.
That's what. Oh yeah. She's like, did you use the Stone Cottage Farm soap? I'm like, yep, I did. That's why he likes you today. No, he's always a friendly dog, but.
Well, yeah, because he's not a small dog. So, of course, when he licks you, it's like your whole face.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's funny how, they talk about how pit bulls are. So people say they're so vicious and everything.
Christ.
They are not.
I got a little 4-month-old one, something like that, give or take. And she literally loves everybody in the world. She's the snuggliest, warmest. I mean, she's a great dog.
Yeah.
My kids have a half Chihuahua lab, and she's
not a nice dog.
No.
That
not
thing
at
out
all.
there?
Yeah, that thing out there.
She's a sweet.
She's a half.
She's a terrorist.
But she will eat Denise in about 2 seconds.
If you walk,
she loves Denise.
Yeah, she's that dog because she's got Chihuahua in her, and like any dog that's like half pint size has the big dog complex in them. She's freaking terrorist.
Super funny.
Yeah, your brother said he's got a 3-year-old pit bull named Rose. So yeah,
cool.
They're sweet dogs. You guys have dogs too. You were talking about them, and I think did you say that you had like a lab or a mix?
Casey, the Wonder Dog, is a lab shepherd mix. Yeah, he looks like a shepherd. And then Roxy is also a rescue, and they actually couldn't tell us when we got her. They weren't sure what she was.
Yeah. Some of the best kind of dogs, though.
She's a good dog.
Yeah.
They're both fantastic dogs.
You have to hide the soap when you're making it. Are they around trying to get into it?
They are.
Haven't had.
No, not too much. But speaking of dogs in my soap, I have used the unscented to give them baths.
Oh, okay.
And it works fantastic. So.
I imagine.
Yeah, it works great out here.
On your bald head.
That's right. Telling that the activated charcoal was incredible because I shaved my head and then took a shower and I was just like,
It is. Oh my gosh.
Question for you. Do you know if there's any soap / materials you guys could use in soaps that would help with preventing fleas for animals. I'm not saying that we have any or anything, but preventing like fleas or preventing dry skin or things like that regarding safe for cats, dogs.
That's a little
questionable
outside of my area expertise. So I don't know if I want to speak to that.
Okay.
I think most of the soap would be good for dry skin, but for like with fleas, I don't know.
It's something that I've actually been researching a little bit recently, but not enough to where I'd be comfortable.
Okay, fair enough. I just was like, after you said the rubbing it out on the dog, I'm like, oh, I wonder if like you.
I'm sure there probably is, but I know that there are certain essential oils that are okay for your furry friends and certain ones that are not at all. So
yeah, that's always a good thing to know for sure. And I read recently too something about like the salt lamps being a little bit too much for some animals too. And I was like, oh, okay, I need to do more research on this stuff. We don't have any at the house, but
right there.
Yeah.
What does it do to them? Makes them really thirsty.
Yeah. Too much salt in the air.
Like a fucking weed in that lamp.
Great popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I work at a bar. So somebody walk in, it's like, have some popcorn.
Let me lick your lamp.
In chat, salt lick, lit up salt lick. Yeah, might be something new, guys. And Rob says he also has the teacup chihuahua, and she's also a big baby. And then Becky said, I'm laughing because Cupid is walking around whining because he can hear Heather and Adam on here. And Leanne said, why would you drink tea from a chihuahua? And apparently
legitimate question.
Rob works at a dog food place. If you need dog food, let him know, he says. So, but yeah. It's your brother.
I don't speak for him.
I know.
No idea.
Just being friendly. But yeah, so well, I am definitely glad that you guys were able to join us again in studio. Thank you so much for the illegal cheese and soap.
You're very welcome.
Did you have another question?
I kind of did.
Okay.
Do you guys have any barn cats that are wanderers? Because I don't know a barn that doesn't.
Yes.
We do have a couple barn cats, Paula and Miss Kitty, and they're awesome mousers. Miss Kitty is super shy. She pretty much, well, I don't know if she's shy as much as she hates people.
Is that the gray one?
That's the gray one with she naturally has no tail.
Is she a Manx? Do you know?
I had no idea.
Because there's a breed of cat that's called a Manx that they're naturally born without a tail.
I don't know. She's teeny tiny.
Yeah.
She got a really super rounded rear end.
She does.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she is then.
My grandpa found one. She actually got dropped off the property up there, and they usually come in black, gray, or brown.
It's great.
And I've been searching for a Manx since I saw his forever. And you said when you said she didn't have a tail.
It sounds like it because she's gray and she's real small and
maybe like 6.5
kind
8
of
pounds.
hunched.
Yeah, tiny. Yep.
And then did you guys do a transition for them? Like, did one of them start inside and became an outdoor cat?
We got them from a friend who she had put an ad on when I worked at Mutual still for 2 barn cats and.
Also, they were already outdoor.
It was one of our neighbors, yeah. So we went down and we meant to transition them, but they escaped from the transition room right away. So, but they stuck around. So, and actually, Miss Kitty this winter, some of those cold days, where is she at? And we're looking for her, and we didn't see her for 2 or 3 days. Well, finally, one day we had a fresh snow, and I saw her tracks, so I followed them. The house across the street from us, nobody's actually living in it. But they still maintain it, and I think they keep the heat on just enough to. So I think that's what she's doing. She's going over there. She's living in that house during the coldest days of winter. You know, it's probably 45 in there instead of 0.
Right.
So she didn't have a whole lot of fur. So the other one's like a big puffball, but.
Oh my gosh! Sorry, guys. I am just exhausted today.
Well, we are on the upswing from the cold weather, though.
Yeah.
We are beyond Valentine's Day. If you notice, days are getting a little bit longer. The air is a little bit warmer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into that.
Me too. Me
too.
too.
We're moving from winter to construction.
Yeah. I like orange barrel season, though.
I don't.
No, me.
I just like the weather that time, but I don't really care for the construction.
I need a new high score this year for orange barrels.
State flower, Michigan State flowers, the orange barrel.
I thought it was the pot leaf.
Probably now, yeah, probably.
And
now.
our state bird was the seagull.
Oh, jeez. I thought the state bird was mosquitoes.
So yeah, like that, one of the two.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming on the show. It's so good to have you guys back and be able to talk about some of the new scents and stuff that you guys are doing. Plus, illegal cheese. Hashtag legal cheese for life.
Yes. So we'll have to like get you guys back on. Well, keep us and posted about all the kids and how many you guys end up having.
We will.
That is awesome. And we'll have to come out there and check out the farm and not give away all your trade secrets or anything, but we'll come out and check it out and have a little field trip, I guess.
Just remember the first one's free.
Well, we were supposed to have a big bash when Farmer Dave retired from the day job, and that never came about. So I think a goal of having a pretty good party when we finally get the creamery up and running would be a good goal to have. So you guys would all be invited to that for sure.
Did I hear barbecue?
Just let us know. We'll bring some stuff, and maybe Tony can bring his guitar or something.
Definitely
do some music or something. That'd be a lot of fun.
I played for cheese.
Unspeakable things for the cheese.
That's right.
Worse than a Klondike.
Yeah.
I think it is.
I know what you did for a Klondike bar. Call me.
Oh man. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight and joining us, and thank you guys again for joining us, Farmer Dave and Christina. And we are looking forward to seeing you guys again and hanging out. And we'll be back again next Thursday, guys.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and go on Stone Cottage Farms and show them some love.